Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you're here to talk about how to grow brand engagement. And today, you're going to be joined by myself, of course, and then some great people from PepsiCo who are going to talk about their experience using Salesforce to grow brands. Before we do any of that, though, as always, remember to please make your purchase decisions based off of what is currently available today, as we may be referencing some future-facing features or functionality. Also, if we haven't said it enough today, thank you for taking your time to be here with us. Thank you for joining us live here in Connections and live on Salesforce Plus to talk about how we can partner better together. We say it a lot, but we are a customer company and we're only as good as those we partner with. So thank you for being our partners and our customers. Now, for today's agenda, I'm just going to walk through a couple of trends we've been seeing generally within marketing to set the stage. And then we're going to bring up our guest star, John Orbeck from PepsiCo, to talk about the PepsiCo Tasty Rewards program. And then I'll jump back on stage super quick, and we'll do a little bit of live Q&A. So like I said, I'm going to jump into some general trends we've been seeing in marketing. By way of introduction, my name is McKee Horner. I'm a senior marketing manager here at Salesforce. And one of the reasons why I love working in CPG more generally is because you can experience it every day, right? We all have desk jobs, and sometimes it feels like you can feel a little bit separate from something that's real. But in CPG, when you create an ad, a product, whatever, everybody can see it and have an opinion about it. The newest flavor of one of our lovely drinks, or maybe the newest, speaker or the newest camping gear. It's all something you can feel and see. Now, because of that, marketers are always trying to get all of our attention. And I think we can all relate to the fact that it's kind of maybe gotten a little out of hand. That's because marketing in general has become so much more mobile. 81% of marketers say that their main priority is going to be offers on mobile and in apps. So you can expect even more push notifications, SMS, in-app notifications, or even just an email, which is a steady stream channel as well. However, when you see all of that, although it has become more prevalent, more prolific, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's better, especially as a consumer, but also as a marketer. Why? That's because 6 in 10 marketers actually don't know how to personalize their offers in these channels. So they know they need to prioritize it, but they're not really sure how. Now, that has some real effects on us as consumers, and you can see it at the macro level. Consumers in general are changing how they interact with their marketing offers they receive. You'll see that a lot of consumers are using ad blocking technology. So just saying, I don't even want to see it whenever I navigate the web. And generally speaking, you can see the performance reflected in our digital drivers, right? CPMs are way up, making it so much harder to get the attention of your target personas. You also have lower engagement across the board. People are just less incentivized to be on socials, or at least maybe just view on socials, but not engage. And they also are generally tired of the sponsored content or the influencer content, just because it's become so prevalent, but maybe not as impactful as it used to be. Now, the problem is prevalent and obvious, but the solution is maybe not so obvious. I mean, generally speaking, customers, while they're a little bit overwhelmed by all these messages, they want to feel like they have a personalized experience. And they're asking, brands and companies to do just that. However, you have a lot of things you need to leave behind, right? You need to overcome those disconnected campaigns that are operating in siloed teams with manual optimizations and a complex tech stack, piecing it all together. But if you're able to achieve those next-gen solutions by bringing unified journeys to your customers, creating a single source of truth, you can see exactly who your end people are, and providing agents that help optimize in flight so you're not spending all the time doing those manual tasks, you can actually create joint goals across marketing, sales, service, and commerce, and provide those offers that are actually impactful and drive revenue for you. Now, like I said, we are only as successful as our customers. And luckily enough, we have a fantastic customer with us today who's going to join the stage and share exactly how they used us to do just that. So with that, please welcome me in welcoming John Orbeck.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. As McKee said, I'm John Orbeck. I'm here to talk about PepsiCo Tasty Rewards. I am an associate manager at PepsiCo. I focus on consumer engagement for PepsiCo Tasty Rewards. It is our portfolio consumer engagement program in the US, it covers all of our brands within our wide array of portfolio. So I'm going to start a little bit talking about what it is. It is PepsiCo's biggest one-to-one email channel and largest 1P data aggregator. It's a very large, very robust program spanning a lot of consumers. Our goal is to drive engagement, fuel personalization, and increase CLTV. So we serve a lot of functions within the company. And it's kind of taken us a long way to get to where we wanted to be when it comes to these goals and the involvement of these goals. So we launched about 5 years ago. Our legacy program, though, was very limited. So before, it was a very direct exchange with the consumer, very limited interactions. We would have them come to the website. They would be able to enter a sweepstakes once. They would then leave the website. They would be able to come to the website, grab a coupon, leave the website. It was a very fragmented situation we had going. We were collecting data. We were getting more data in every day, but the level of use of that data was very limited for us. We weren't expanding our depth of knowledge on those consumers. All we were doing was getting a wider and wider reach. So we took that and wanted to talk about what comes next. How do we evolve our program? And 2 years ago, we launched PepsiCo Tasty Rewards 2.0 is what we called it internally, kept the same consumer-facing name. The purpose of this program was to go from a just one-stop, leave the website, to an engagement hook with consumers. Our goal was to get that depth of data that I was talking about earlier. So we wanted to create a value exchange, not only for a consumer to come and get value from their purchases, but then value back to PepsiCo. So what does this new program look like? What does it do? So we can break it down into 3 super simple steps. Consumers get to create an account, consumers get to earn entries, and consumers get to redeem those entries for really cool, really awesome rewards. What does that mean? It seems like earn entries, redeem entries. Why do people care about this? How did we come up with this? Why did we want to do this? All good questions. We got to this through researching and talking directly to our consumers. So we spent, I think, 6 months piloting a few different variations of this program. We had different value exchanges, different engagement activities, things of that sort to understand what our consumers wanted from us. And ultimately what we landed on was this earn and burn engagement economy where consumers land on the website. They still have their value with coupons and getting discounts on their goods that they buy every day. But on top of that, they have fun ways to interact with their favorite brands. So you can answer a survey about, innovation questions with new flavors of products. You can spin a wheel and see if you're winning entries and have a little gamification in there. It's meant to give the consumer a place to go, to learn more about their brands, engage with their brands in different ways, while also providing some value back to PepsiCo. So that's how you can earn all those entries. And then the hook there, the reason you want to do that and take your time as a consumer is you then get the opportunity to win fantastic rewards. So we offer sweepstakes, varying in different dollar amounts. We offer flyaway experiences where we send people to the Super Bowl to see the game live, interact with players, and have a truly once in a lifetime experience. A lot of our consumers, they're feeling things with the economy and they want those big wins, big hits, and for our brands to be able to provide that for them is something really special. So what this really is what we consider to be an equitable value exchange for these consumers. That's really what we see as happening here. We're no longer just trying to get data in, we're trying to give consumers an experience or some kind of value back so that we don't have to try so hard to keep them coming back and engaging across our portfolio of brands. So there's the clear, easy win of coupons, providing value at the point of sale. That is something, we strive for. We think it's really important for our consumers to feel that value in their everyday lives. Then we talk about these sweepstakes and that engagement with the overall program on the website. So this is, again, what I was talking about, that currency where the brands can get involved, the consumers can get involved and engage with us in a variety of ways. This all then helps us fuel personalization for our consumers via various like media activations, the personalization we're doing within our emails, the personalization we're doing on the website, and the way our brands are looking to re-engage with those consumers through their various touch points. With all of the different brands we have under our portfolio, everyone's trying to talk to their consumer in a specific way. So when we're able to collect this zero-party data from these consumers, we're taking in data, and then we're able to repurpose that through these various channels and drive further personalization and further engagement with these consumers. So all of this kind of works in a really nice harmony for us to drive CLTV. So obviously being a business, that is one of our main goals. And it's important to us though that this feels valuable to the consumers. We don't want it to be a one-way street. I think a lot of what we've heard about so far here at Connections is, taking those communications and turning them into conversations. And we feel like that's something we're doing with our program today. We're able to reach out to consumers, engage with them with their favorite brands, engage with them with the things they want to engage with, and let them feel like they're getting something in exchange while we're able to then build better personas, better personalization, and just a general better consumer experience for them. So a lot of our MVPs are our most valuable and engaged consumers. So what are they doing? They're looking for PepsiCo products that pack in flavor. They're looking for coupons. They're looking for value in their everyday lives. These are people who are always one step ahead of the game. So they're savvy shoppers. They're looking for deals. They're looking to stack coupons. They're looking for that connection with their brands to say, I know you've been here. I know I like your brands, but what's next for us? And then we see this as having a really big potential to be a core audience long-term. So a lot of our audience is moving to younger, Gen X and millennials, married with children, and it's making up a digital age of consumers that want to have that personalized experience. So we need to be able to aggregate our data, personalize that content, and meet them where they're at is a really big part. Can't rest on our laurels. So as we look ahead, some of the stuff we're always working on is we want to and we value what our consumers have to say within our program. So we have some always on survey recruiting going on where we're consistently asking those consumers for feedback. We want to hear what they have to say. We want to improve our program. We want to deliver the needs of what they're telling us they want from us. We're taking all of that data in. We're building more dynamic email templates based on direct engagement from those consumers. So taking it one up from just email and trying to use our aggregated data across these touch points with the consumer and really show them that we know who they are beyond just one single touch point or one single interaction we've had with them at one point or another. We want to take that whole view of the consumer and include that. And part of that, comes from that first touch point. So looking to use AI generated personas to scale that personalization at scale, or scale that personalization at scale, to really drive that personalization at a highly scalable level. So our goal there is, try to understand what consumers are looking for and looking like with the minimum amount of data until we're able to get them to coming back and engaging with us and telling us what they want. So that way we can truly deliver on that personalization. So that's it. I'm going to bring McKee up so we can do a little bit of Q&A and chit chat about some of this stuff.
Yes, sorry. I mean, such a cool program. I thought I could just take you a little bit more of your time to dig in a little bit. If you want to take a seat, let's chat.
Yeah.
So I loved what you showed. And what I loved specifically is that so much of what you talked about was about how you can deliver value for the consumers, right? No longer are we out there just asking them to give us our data just so that we can use it to our own gain. We want to make sure it's something like a value exchange, that two-way conversation you mentioned before. So I wanted to peek behind the curtain just a little bit and ask, what kind of Salesforce products or solutions have you been using to help power this program?
Yeah, so we've been using Marketing Cloud Engagement for a while. That's our main activation platform that we're deploying emails in. Recently, we migrated a lot of our segmentation and profile unification into Data Cloud, I think about 9 months ago. And so far, it's been great. I think it's provided a lot of, I would say like readiness is probably the best word for it. It allows us to work a little bit more quickly on the fly with our segmentation, building unique views of the consumers beyond just hey, have they clicked on an email in the last 6 months? I
Right.
want to know more than that. And being able to work within Data Cloud, we're able to grab various touch points, source down like what we actually care about and what we think will drive the most engagement with those consumers.
Totally. Makes a lot of sense. And when you say data cloud, I'm hearing like you're bringing a lot of insights to the forefront. So can you maybe touch on what like is maybe one of the most valuable or top insights you've been getting from this program?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think one of the most valuable things we found is having the wide array of portfolio of brands. Every brand likes to think about their consumer as their consumer. But through like this profile unification, we're really able to drill in and say like, okay, these consumers engage with various numbers of brands. So at this point, when they entered our system, maybe they were Pepsi only. Now they're starting to engage with the foods brands. Now they're starting to engage with the other brands that we have. And like, so it's our job to then take that and work to deliver content that's actually relevant to the consumer, not just here's the one thing we know about you.
Yeah. Essentially breaking out of those silos and trying to operate as like one PepsiCo in a way.
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha. So, I mean, with lots of brands at your disposal, it sounds like that provides a lot of benefits. You have a lot of different touch points, a lot of different data aggregators, but I bet it also comes with some challenges. Can you maybe talk about one of the big focuses or challenges you've had within this process?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges is prioritization. Working with a portfolio of brands, like we were talking about, it's not just the consumer, it's my content is the most important. So that's another area we've spent a lot of time focusing on and using this profile unification. So it's allowing us to see not only the different brands consumers are engaging, but the different ways they're engaging to help inform things outside of even my own program. We help collect data to provide insights into media activations for the media team. So it's really interesting to help set those priorities and help drive the understanding of why we need to communicate to these consumers differently and why we're using different channels.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, with maybe the style I was mentioning earlier, right? Like we have so many different ways to reach out to our consumers now that it's almost I forget the idiom, but it's, the benefit of having too many options, right? Like almost selection paralysis.
Paralysis, yeah.
So makes a lot of sense. And to that note, though, I'm also curious, like, with a program like this, in an industry like fast-moving consumer goods, you have both, digital and in-store touch points. So how are you engaging and trying to push this program in both places, if at all?
Yeah, we are trying. It's tough. You want to, like we talked about earlier, meet the consumer where they're at. A lot of folks are in store. I think a lot of the great things our brands are doing are very like limited time offers and special promotions and collaborations. So we need to be able to work more agile to get on and be a part of that. I think we've got a lot of great initiatives going right now where we do show up on pack to sign up for the PTR, the PepsiCo Tasty Rewards program.
Gotcha.
Across a various number of the brands. When we have some really cool bespoke activations going on that are in person, a couple years ago there was a Doritos After Dark food truck in New York City.
Oh, cool.
So we were able to show up on the point of sale for that and get people to sign up, and then they received a special offer on the receipt that they received from the truck to get bonus entries within the program.
Gotcha. Kind of like a surprise and delight.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Like you're already there to enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And then you just get a little cherry on top.
Amazing. I mean, it's also driving price too, which, as we all know, like is super sensitive for consumers these days. So it makes total sense. We don't have too much time left, so I want to end on maybe like a high note. Any advice you have for people who are trying to replicate your success or just learn broadly from the program?
Yeah. Don't stop innovating. It sounds so simple. It sounds brick to forehead, but it truly we saw that legacy program we had. We were happy with it. It was a great CRM email program. It achieved our goals that we had at that time, but we always had to keep looking forward. And the next step was that furthering engagement. We're already, as we saw in a couple slides ago, we're looking to those next steps again. And we're trying to find that next spot that we feel like we can really win with our consumers.
Completely. I mean, a great example of constant innovation, right? Like maintaining success is not enough anymore. Like you have to keep reaching for the next thing. So I'm excited to see what's next. I am so thankful that you're able to join us today and share your story. If everybody could just join me in thanking John for his time. And also want to take a moment to thank you all for spending time with us again. If you have any questions after the session, feel free to come up to John and I and we can chat more. But otherwise, we hope that you enjoy the rest of your connections.
Thank you.
Thank you.